Good evening, boys, girls, he's, she's, theirs, and theys. We are here live for the Verstappen tier in Monza tonight. Just gonna quickly whip up the standings. We'll go from there. Oh, you gotta love a wet Monza. Turn 1 is gonna be absolutely fantastic. Ooh, so there we go. It's got the standings up. Ooh, so it's a forced Inters quali, starting with a forced Inters race start. That will turn dry eventually. It's going to be a nice, interesting start to the race and a qualifying session then. So let's have a look at the championship standings. Let me just skip myself. Ready? Ooh, Sentinel Racing then are having a fantastic season. Their drivers are 1-2 in the championship. Brady currently leading it with 133 points. Do my quick calculations. 21 points ahead of his teammate Jonathan Mooney to Sentinel. Looking good for them this season. Benita, early championship leader, is in third. And that's Velocity Racing. Magnetics in fourth with 85 points. Viking Fox in fifth with 76. Brent with 75. Dark One is 72. Voltex 72. X Grant at 65. Milan is 65. So it's quite, actually, you know what? Apart from the top three kind of getting away from everyone, from fourth down to 13th, it's only 13, well, it's only 30 points separating them all, so it's quite close there. Quite close to the bottom of the field as well. And in terms of the constructors, Sentinel Racing will lead the championship away. They have an 81 point lead over Velocity Racing. We're pretty much halfway through the season now. Can they be caught? We're going to see. Well, it's going to be hard to catch them, but then you got a good battle going on for the second place in the championship. Velocity Racing in second, Imperium in third, Progen in fourth, Akiran in fifth, and Mustachio in sixth. And it's best of the rest and battle not to be last between Valhalla Racing, Venter Blade, Williams, and Aphrodite, all separated by 13 points. So then, let's have a look on the track. Then it's changed that to gap to the fastest lap. Tyre, everyone's going to be on Inters. Won't have telemetry on, get a track map up. Let's try and find the first guy to come around there. I think the first guy putting a lap in will be Matt F1. And Matt, I think, is standing in for Mooney tonight for the championship leaders. See what Matt can do in that blue liveried car. Tiptoeing it around the first corner. If you're right on board with him, just turn the sound down so it don't overwhelm the comms. There we go, max value 4. And this comes down to the chicane. Oh, the back end kicks out on him then. Just about keeping it facing the right way through that chicane. Round the two, as I say, Lesbos. Keeping it nice and tight. He did have a big slide though. Ooh, Haytham's the first guy to put a lap in. A 131. Instantly beaten by 9/10 of a second by Taylor Danny. And then little Jumper John a 129.2. So the first 3 laps getting a second and a second and a second quicker. And we got a second quicker again with Diablo on to pole. Yellow flag in sector 1, I think. That's just the one that is in the traffic by. So Matt then standing in for the championship second place and championship leader Jonathan Mooney's car. See if he can produce something good as he stands in for reserve. Only up to 7th for them for the time being. And Blanis sits into second place. Everyone else getting there. First laps completed. Oh, someone coming out of the pit there right in front of someone. I still love all the paint jobs that we have so far this season. Milani's paint job is looking nice. I like that purple with that white. design. Coming out, his teammate Benita. Get a good lap in as he starts his lap as well. Third in the championship. He was an early championship leader at the start of the season. Let's see if he can get back up towards the Sentinel Racing guys at the top of the championship. He's got a chance here to gain. Well, whatever he does today, he's definitely going to be gaining on Mooney. Mooney not racing today. Good chance for Mooney's teammate Bailey actually to get some points on the table. Give himself a nice bit of a championship lead. Benita's this lap's looking quite fast, to be fair on Benita. A little bit of slide out of that corner just. There's no DRS because we are racing in wet weather conditions at the moment. Keeping it to, oh, that nearly was a track limit violation there, but he's kept it on the white line, man. Pushing it on that white line. Now, Chris Inters, you could literally go out there in 3 or 4 or 5 laps of fuel and just keep pumping some laps in, get your confidence in these conditions set. Let's see where Benita goes. So there we go. Nice clean lap. It didn't look like he was even struggling, didn't even look like he was even wet for him. And Benita straight to pole, provisional pole for now. Good evening, Magnetics. And Davenant drop that into second. So pretty much everyone has done their lap times that they want to at the moment. Everyone expecting a pole to be a 1:26. I say 1:27. Track's still looking damp. It doesn't look like it's drying out. You should be able to tell if you watch them down the straight how much water is getting kicked up. It is a dry line forming, to be fair, so the lap times should start dropping. Magnetics with tyres. You can come in there. So, pretty much halfway through qualifying. Everyone's pretty much got their laps in, so the early pace here is Pintita. I've been pronouncing his name wrong for the first 3 rounds this season. He currently sets the time of 1:28.2. Diablo is second with 1:28.4. Pretty much matched by Little Jumbo John in third. And Beaton has just went and took pole position for the time being. 2 tenths quicker than Pintita. Yeah, so okay, fifth, followed by his teammate Mac Graham in 6th. Milan is 7th, 8th. The top 8 separated by 7 tenths of second. The track, though, from what I can see, is ramping up. There is a dry line forming. So I can only tell you that the lap times will start to drop. I don't reckon we'll get into the 1:26s, 27s. I think we'll get early 1:27s maybe, but I don't think we'll get into the 1:26s. Taylor Danny hits the pits of his teammate Hilly. So sometimes you actually find when the conditions are like this, if it's going to stay wet, it's actually better to stay out, do 1 or 2 laps more than just a qualifying lap. Your tyres will get into more temperature, you build the confidence, and you'll get quicker and quicker. And there we go, Dabler's first guy then to break the 1:27 straight away, followed by Bailey, 1:27.5. So every time Dabler looks like he's taking provisional pole, someone will literally come steal it from him. And on this occasion, it's championship leader Bailey, straight onto pole position with 1:27.5. Track is getting quicker though. So while we've got most of the cars in the pit, let's just get back over the championship then. So Constructors World, Sentinel Racing, 81 points ahead. No one can really touch them at the moment. Great team effort this season. They're always, when I've been commentating, finishing in the top 5 together. They're always there and thereabouts. Nice consistency, that's what's got them there. Velocity Racer in second, 164 points. Can they do anything about Sentinel? If they are, they're going to have to do it pretty soon. And there is a nice gaggle of cars just behind them. Imperium 127, Progen 124, McEwen 114, and Mustachio 111. So 16 points separate third to 6 in the constructors. And then we have a 20-point gap back down to Vanilla Racing, who are closely followed by Venterblade, Williams, and Aphrodite. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, well, we're only halfway through the season, so that's more closer, and we might have more chances of things to develop in that. Bailey currently leading it with 133 points, 21 points ahead of his teammates Mooney. Mooney's not here tonight, so Bailey could get that extension in his championship lead, become the number 1 driver, and then issue team instructions to Mooney for the rest of the season. Pintita is in third, just 13 points back from Mooney. He's got a chance to get up to second tonight if he can just get some good laps in, keep out of trouble. Minetics in fourth. And Viking Fox, Brent, Dacron, Voltex, Grant, Milanis, Jumbo John, Carl and Hilly, all separated by 30 points in that second group of cars. The midfield quite close. Even Class Diablo in there as well, he's only 3 points behind. We've got a few guys then who might want to get a few more points on the board this season. Some of them had not the best of luck. That's Haytham, Taylor Danny, Craig, Colden, Samori, Delta, Macron. They want to get some more points on the board if they can this season. As we now go into the last 6 minutes of qualifying. Bailey's still got the lap time to set a 127.5. Early times we're seeing a 128.3, so these are now dropping. People easily taking 3, 4, 5 tenths off their fastest laps. And wow, Bailey's gone and beat my expectation. I said we wouldn't get into the 126s, and we do. And this time, it's usually been Diablo taking provisional pole, and instantly someone taking it away from him. He's decided to reverse the roles, and now Bailey's been dropped down to second as Diablo took provisional pole. A few tenths of a second to a second after Bailey took that provisional pole. Lap times are dropping it. The track is ramping up. We still have light rain on the track at the moment, but there is a defined dry line. Definitely not time for it, dry tyres. I wonder if anyone's actually going to risk that. No, everyone enters. There is a dry line, as you can see there, but I can still see people just touching the curbs, losing that rear end. Definitely not time for dry tyres whatsoever. This could be a fact of waiting until the dies. If you can cross the line, you have a few seconds left on the timer to start your last fire lap. Stand yourself a good chance of getting yourself right up the lead. As you can see, Diablo set his fastest lap time on 6 lap old tyres, 6 lap old inters, and that gave him his fastest time and provisional pole for the time being. Grant's there as well, Daniel 6 and 6 lap old. As you see at the top, 6 guys using their tyres for more than 1 lap, bedding them in. Inters tend to be quicker after a lap or 2. You have to bed them in. So just like that, if you just stay out, do a few laps instead of just the one, get your car, you can find the grip, you'll get used to the track, the confidence will grow, and you should get quicker lap times. Yellow flag round the last corner, but that's just people giving each other space to start their laps. We head into the last 3.5 minutes of qualifying. Half the track out on the track, half the track still in the pit. There's 3rd place now. It's BGR, SX Perry, we'll just call him Perry for the race. 126.9, so Dablo leading it, 2 tenths ahead of 2nd and 3rd. Beaton is still in the pits. Little Jumbo John just finished the lap, he got himself up to 5th. Well, honest in 6th. So everyone are getting ready to do their final push laps. See if they can get themselves up a few positions. Remember, the race is going to be a forced intermediate start. progressing to a dry race. When will the switch over in that race be? It could be early, it could be late. But you will want to only have to pit for the dryers once you get off the inters. So depending on how quickly the track dries out in the race, will determine how many pit stops we will be seeing. 1 stopper, 2 stopper. Turn 1's always interesting here as well. It always tends to be a bit of carbon fibre and a few front wings flying about. And if there isn't, I'll buy everyone a beer. There is people out on the track. We're not seeing anyone jumping up the standings so far. Haytham jumped up to 4th with a 127.2. Beaton is out on an outlet. Is everyone out? Starting to ramp their laps up then. Milanis, a 126.4. Goes provisional pole then. Will he have time to get round and get another lap in? And be close, I doubt he will. But he's on current pole for the time being. His teammate 3rd in the championship. Bentita also, I think he's just starting his lap now. He's up to 3rd. Velocity Racing currently occupy 1st and 3rd on the grid. Championship leader Bailey is currently down in 4th on an outlap. His reserve teammate Matt F1 UK today, currently down in 14th. He's warming his tyres up. It looks like Velocity Racing will be going for another lap then. Warming their tyres up. Just got to make sure they don't hold. I think it's going to be Grant behind them up. It is Grant. Grant gets through. Markram goes up to 2nd then. Oh, just couldn't be Milanis here, so that'd be his qualifying done. He's up to P2 at the moment. Can he hold on to that? Diablo is just starting his final push lap now. Beaten. He's done for qualifying. Psycho's done. Hilly's done. Olivier's done. Pentilta is also done. He didn't make the line. So Petita's going to be starting 6th. His teammate's going to be starting on pole for the time being, unless Macron's not going to be doing another lap. Let's see if Diablo can do anything about it. Time has run out. These guys now on the fine laps then. And Diablo has gone purple 2nd sector. He's pushing. Can he still back pole? He's been dicing with pole position the whole of qualifying. Bailey with a late push into the 125. Bailey 125.86. Test kick. Diablo. He was purple in the 1st sector, purple in the 2nd sector, and round that final corner, loses the rear end. He will be starting P7. He looked like he was going to challenge Bailey for pole position. Lost the rear end round that final corner, pushing a bit too hard, and that may have cost him. He's down in P7 after that, and that is qualifying done. Macram is on an in lap, so this is going to be our grid then. Bailey on pole with 125.8. Perry in 2nd, 126 dead. Ethan will be starting P3 with 126.3. Milanis in P4 or 126.4 for him. Macram's going to be starting P5. Haytham P6. Diablo will be ruining that final corner. He's going to be starting P7. Grant in P8. Bentita P9, not where he would want to be going. He would want to be starting higher up. Little Jumbo John in 10th, Taylor Danny in 11th, Beaton 12th, Neely Circa 13th, Hilly 14th, Craig 15th, Matt F1 reserving down in 16th, Hamadi in 17th, Oliver in 18th, Colden in 19th. Now 3 seconds between the spread of the field. Third down to 11th was all within a second. So we're going to have a good. This is going to be a good race. I can feel it. We're going to have a few battles going on here. Who's going to get the strategy right? Who's going to get the strategy right then? Who's going to time the swap over to drive perfectly? Go too early, you'll be sliding around. Go too late, everyone might have jumped you. Got to get this perfect. So everyone then just getting their strategies ready. Sure, I've got Bailey as a friend. Yep, got Bailey as a friend. Think I've got most of the drivers on the grid just in case they need an invite to get back if they get disconnected. So don't worry, Bailey, I have got you as a friend. So if you do get disconnected, I'll try and get you back in. A good thing about having comms. So here we go then. Getting ready for the race start. Fans in the crowd there, look, as you can see. Looking a bit bored. I wouldn't be wearing shorts and a t-shirt in the round, but you know. The same woman's in the crowd, just wearing a different colour t-shirt. As you see down the pit lane as well, everyone got their front wings out, ready to go. Anyone willing to guess how many front wings we're going to lose into turn 1? I'm going 3. Danny's gone 6. So off on the formation lap we go. We'll do position change for the first lap. We'll switch that to tyre once we start seeing people pitting for dry tyres. Once the track dries out for the first few laps, we'll give it to position change so he gains the most positions off the start. So here we go then. Bailey on P1, Perry P2, Even P3, Milanis P4, Markram P5, Hafen P6, Dablo P7, Grant 8th, Pintita 9th, Jumbo John 10th, Taylor Danny 11th, Beaton 12th, Psycho 13th, Heli 14th, Craig 15th, Matt 16th, Hamadi 17th, Oliver 18th, Colton 19th, Magnetics down in P20. It's like what I always do. We'll be riding for the initial start from the leader, looking backwards, see if he gets a good start off the line. As you can see, the Monza Grand Prix brought to you by Motorola and MSC Cruises. I've been on actually on an MSC cruise. Quite good. Recommend. We've been getting the heat into these into the zone 2 start. Barry then comes up, put himself on the line. So if you're starting with an odd number, you may just get a better start here. as you'd be on the racing line to start. Doesn't look like there isn't much of a dry line at the moment. They will be on the favoured side here. If you can get a good start, if you're an even number, down to the first turn, you have the inside line. As the grid forms up then, jump on with Bailey for the first 50-60 metres, see what sort of start he can get. The rain dripping off the camera. Here we go. 3, 4, 5. Right, like that, and away we go. A bit of wheel spin from Bailey. Perry's got a fantastic start in second. He'll be looking at it. We've got cars. Oh, we've got a car off already. We didn't even make it to turn 1 before we saw the first front wing. That's Macram. 2 front wings, as I can see. People taking 2. The run-off. Bailey had to take 2 the run-off. Melanis had to take 2 run-off. There's another. There's carbon fibre flying everywhere. Cars going on the grass. Oh, Matt's into the barrier. Matt is into the barrier. Has he managed to keep it going? He has. Chaos then. The start. Quite a few guys missed the first corner and couldn't get it stopped. That includes Bailey, the leader. Tucked to the run-off, comes back on. He still managed to keep hold of the lead. I bet you got a track limit violation for that. It's a very up to speed. Perry's maintained. Haven's gained 3 positions. Ethan's gained lost a position to his teammate. Peter and Taylor Danny have all gained positions. Beaton's gained 6 positions on this opening lap then. Fantastic for him. Grant's maintained in 8th. Melanis has lost 5. He ran off at the first corner and couldn't get back on. And when he did get back on, couldn't get the traction down. And he's dropped 4 places from the start. Hilly down to, he's up to P9. He's had a good start. Tabler's dropped 3 places, but the biggest losers is going to be Matt and Macram. More front wings going. As Little Jumbo John runs off the final corner into the gravel trap. He's got it back on. Minus, I think, a front wing. Oh, he's still got his front wing. Minus an end plate, though. And there we go. He's carried on. Only Macram's pitted for front wing. We are missing a few front wings. Little Jumbo John missing a front end plate. Matt's now on a recovery drive. Colden missing a front end plate. If you just go through the field here, looking who's missing end plates. Oh, like 4 or 5 end plates. Oh, Dable running across there. Couldn't get it turned in. He's got Hilly. He's going to have to hit Hilly go. That would have been an illegal overtake. So Hilly goes back up to P9. Dable couldn't keep it stopped. I had to cut the chicane. So we're seeing at the moment people struggling just to get the cars stopped into the corner. There isn't a dry line forming yet. It is still raining. Out front is the top 3. How we started. Bailey, Perry and Ethan are your top 3. Second split in each of them. And then we have a train of cars coming around the top end of this. So for the first 2 laps, we've seen a few front wings. We've seen a few run-offs. Let's see if everyone can settle down into a rhythm then. I think the stewards are going to be busy for lap 1 and lap 2 tonight. And was that Panita? So Panita and Haytham are going battling here down to turn 1. Side by side. Battle for P4. Panita gets past. Oh, he couldn't get it stopped and he's run into the back of Ethan. And Panita loses his front right end plate. And Haytham gets that position back from Panita. Panita there just couldn't get it stopped. That's the trouble in these conditions. You're going for that overtake and you're both trying to outbrake each other into the corner. And that time it was Benito who just couldn't get it stopped. He ran into the back of Ethan there. Was that team orders from Ethan and Haytham? I doubt it. It's Benito there. He's lost his front wing end plate. Now he's got beaten all over the back of him. He's got to try and keep him behind. Quite a few cars missing front end plate. No one's really wanting to pit it though. I think they're going to try and stick it out until the dries come. Only one car has pitted. That's Macram on the opening laps just to see if he... Yep, he stayed to the inters. So now Benita under pressure from Beaton. Beaton's looking like he's going to go round, trying around there. Oh, a bit of push and shove. Beaton's just about kept his rear end there. Got pushed slightly onto the grass there from Benita. And Benita not pit him. Remember, no DRS at the moment due to the wet rat. And now Beaton's coming again at Benita into turn 1. They get it stopped this time. They're side by side. Round turn 1. Side by side round turn 2. Benita holds onto that position. Beaton then having to settle back in, but he's right on the exhaust pipe. Benita needs to having a right good tussle. He's going to try and go around the outside of turn 3, side by side. Beaton's going to have the inside line into the chicane. Make it nice and clean, but Benita maintains that 4th position. It's fantastic defensive driving, and a battle from these two for the battle for P5 at the moment. It is the closest battle on the track, so we'll stay with these two, because these two are having a right good ding dong here. And it's giving Haytham a chance to pull away in P4. Let's get a bit of a gap between him and this battle. Speaking it behind Benita, he'll be getting ready. So there's 4 overtakes between them on that one lap alone. Is he going to go for another move down to the final corner again? Beaton this time gets the move done before we enter the final corner, and up to P5 goes Beaton. Benita down to P6. Will he have anything to fight back with up to turn 1? No, he's just not close enough now. Now start to get, because we haven't got DRS, it's going to be an ERS battle then, as Magnetics and Oliver go battling into turn 1. They get it stopped. Magnetics saying up to P14, gets ahead of Oliver. And Grant there looking like he wants to have a bit of Oliver as well. Battle for P14 heating up. Oliver now under pressure from Grant. Grant thinking about going around the outside. Backs out of it then. And slots back in behind Oliver for the time being. There's going to be a few track limit violations today, I think, because there's got quite a lot of cars running on the grass. I'm doing the cancel out of a job with the grass cutting tonight. Just running wide there. Just lost a bit of time. Matt's under pressure from little Jumbo John. Jumbo John didn't have the race start that he would have wanted. Dropped quite a lot of positions down, but he manages to get ahead of Matt then at the top of the hill. And pushing on now, back up the front. Bailey leads. Hasn't been able to really get away from Perry at the moment. The gap's remained about a second, but they have pulled away from P3. Ethan, the gap now to 2.6 seconds. The lap time's now starting to come down to 1:29.5 on my screen. The rain has stopped on my screen. There's Jumbo John into the pits to see if he's going to be the first guy risk a dry tyre. The rain has stopped. Into the pit he comes. He is, the little Jumbo John is the first guy to pit for the dry tyres. He's gone for the hards. He's having a front wing change as well. So we'll keep an eye on little Jumbo John's sectors here. Let's see if he starts gaining on the wet tyres. Now I don't think we're too far away from everyone. Ooh, spinning it nearly out the pit lane there. Spinning it twice out the pit lane there, little Jumbo John. So we'll watch his gap now to Macram for this first lap. See if he starts gaining on him. Man, just getting a bit of a gap now to Perry. P5 down to P11. Only 3 seconds between them all. So we'll go battling. We have a yellow flag. It's a red car. Oh, it's Grant. The lap time goes down again. A 1:28.6 then for Bailey. Grant had a bit of a detour there. He's dropped back down to P18. Got to say, this season, Grant is a quick driver. Just don't have the look, though. that he needs. And little Jumbo John then, keep an eye on his gap to Macram. The gap is at 14.8. He's not gaining though. The dry tyres are not looking quicker at the moment. It's down to 15.2 then, so the dry tyres not the quickest yet. If we can get them up to temperature though, we may see a change in that one. Grant is now into the pit. E2 bolting on a set of hards and a new front wing. So that's both the Imperium drivers then, costing their team a bit of money in the cost cap era. Now down in 19th and 20th. The Imperium Racing guys not having much luck then today. So Monza's not being favourite to them. The best team at the moment would be the Mustachio Racing team, who could do getting some points on the table. To be fair, they were in 3rd and 4th, looking pretty in 3rd and 4th as well, beating slowly reeling in Haytham, but not a massive rate of knots. Oh, so Bailey's the first guy into the pit. He's definitely going to switch to a dry tyre, but as I'm seeing, little Jumbo John, he's not making any inroads on that dry tyre with the guys in front of him. He's actually lost 3 seconds in 2 laps on that dry tyre. We've got quite a few guys then pitting, so we'll change that detail to tyres, and they're all going for hards. We've got to see now if Bailey's going to make them tyres work, because the 2 guys that have switched to the dry tyres already are not making many inroads to the guys on the dries. Ooh, got a yellow flag. Yellow flag coming out of the pit there. I wonder if someone's had a spin. Has it lit the tyres up? So then Bailey then, look, snapshot it now. Bailey 6.1 behind Hamady. Let's see if he gets that gap down. Oliver then picking up a 3-second time penalty. And DRS is not enabled yet. DRS is not enabled from what I can see with the front running guys. Soon Tally to come down the straight now. Nope, DRS is not activated yet. And these guys are all pitting. Bailey is keeping that gap now to 6.2. So now the dry tyres are now seeming to, now we're on the crossover phase, and the dry tyres are getting quicker. Yeah, I'll get a Hamady invite now. Yep, pinged Hamady an invite. The Bailey is in P6. He's got ahead of Ethan, 1.6 down the line. Ethan's in there has made some time on Bailey then during that pit stop. Perry has not decided to pit yet. Or is Haytham? Or have the 2 I've got to get it right, Velocity team drivers, Panita and Milanis and Craig are the only guys, the top 5 then, are the only guys not to pit from the Inters Macram as well, down in P11. But I think now the dry tyres are the quicker tyre. They're definitely the quicker tyre. Bailey's took a second out of Craig just on this lap then, so this is going to be the lap that the front runners need to pit. Perry's not pitting. Hayf pits. Bintita pitting. Relanis staying out. I think Craig's going to pit then as well. I feel like Perry may have left this a bit too long to not pit here. So out comes Haytham. He was behind his teammate before his pit stop. Him and his teammate are going to go racing into turn 1. Making sure they don't have a team instead then, so I'm very cautious with the both of them. But as they were before the pit, Bailey managing to stay ahead of these guys, but Eighth caught his teammate up there. Beaton, who pitted a bit earlier, dropped time to the guys ahead of him. Peter has pitted, he has also put on a new front wing. So the crossover has definitely happened. Bailey is now gaining on the leaders. The pit stop loss here is around 24 seconds. And that is actually the gap we've got between Bailey and Perry. They were P1, P2 before the pits. I can't tell you if the DRS is activated because no one's actually within a second of anyone. Perry then into the pits he comes. He's going to switch them hard tyre into that full sort of set of hard tyres. Alright then, let's see. Where's Bailey? Bailey's coming around the last corner now. And I think we're going to have a change of leader here. Oh, Perry's hit the wall. Perry hit the wall on the exit to the pit. And he's lost his front wing. He's lost his front right end plate. And I'm pretty sure Perry would have definitely have took the lead of the race. He's lit the tyres up on the exit of the pit. And he's lost his front right end plate, hitting the wall hard as well. Bailey retakes the lead here. Well, he's not actually. Ethan got past Bailey. It's somewhere on that lap. Bailey might have had a moment there. He was ahead of Ethan, but no, Ethan's ahead of Bailey. He's on the medium tyre there, Ethan. They won't go to the end, so he will have to pit again. I reckon everyone's going to have to pit again, if I'm honest. Follow Bailey now then. Is DRS, there we go. DRS is now activated. I don't know if Bailey had a moment on lap 10 there. I know, man, but he was 2 seconds down the road from Ethan, so Bailey must have had a moment somewhere. Doesn't look like he's got any visible damage. Perry's going to be kicking himself, losing that front wing on that exit of the pit. He would have, I think, definitely should have took the lead of that race if he didn't have that moment. As Milan is finally then on lap 12 getting rid of them inters and bolting on a pair of hards. So everyone's pretty much gone for the hard tyres except for two drivers. Bailey then takes back the lead from Ethan. Ethan gets past Perry into turn 1 as well. It's like he's in 11th. Panetta just about gets ahead of his teammate out at the pit, but Panetta did have a front wing change. That is true. Milanis could go to the end now. 16 laps on the hards. It's doable. Got to look after them though. Right, now the curve goes. Milanis back up at the top then. As we go into the DRS zone, it is the closest battle on the field, and it is the battle for P1. It even closes up to Bailey. Not going to be close enough though. You want to be about within 6/10 of the car ahead to have a chance for the DRS down that front straight. And Bailey is red light flashing this. Bailey will be harvesting 2/10 then. So here we go. We're right on board with Ethan then. See if we can do anything this lap with Bailey. Rear wing wide open. Just not close enough. And Perry's dropping positions now. Beaton gets past Perry into P4. That front wing, I think, is costing him time here. Looking strong he was, looking strong for being in the battle for the lead. He's now dropping down. He's lost 3 places in 2 laps. And front wing damage cost him. And as you can see, he just can't get it turned in. He runs over the curbs there. Bailey then. Let's change that. So we've got tyre. In terms of penalties, Bailey up the front has picked up a 3-second penalty. That could come back to bite him at the end of the race. Perry's got 3 seconds. Craig got a 3-second. Grant, Oliver and Macron too. But the main one's going to be Perry and Bailey. Both picking up 3-second penalties then. So Ethan not letting Bailey go here. Oh, Bailey had a little bit of a moment round that final corner, and Ethan gets the move done before we even get to the start line. But Bailey lost his rear there before we got to the DRS line, and so he gets to DRS. He takes back the lead up into turn 1. Now that mistake around that final corner cost him position. Actually might have helped him to retain the lead there, because it gave him the DRS to come and attack Ethan back up. Ethan's not giving this up, you know. Ethan's looking very racy. Them medium tyres, he's got to use them while he can, but they will start dropping off soon. Ethan in P3, he's got beaten for company as well. In P4, Taylor Danny is now right on the back of Perry. Hilly's racing Milanis. Milanis now holding back Hilly and Diablo, who are looking very racing behind you. So we've got a few battles going on through the field then. So we've got battle for the lead, battle for third, battle for fifth, battle for ninth. Different strategies happening. It's going to be a very interesting half of this second half of the race. So Bailey then, Ethan behind him. Ethan's not going to be close enough into turn 1, but behind him, Beaton and Haytham going racing to turn 1. Beaton gets the move done, but Haytham looked for the inside, cut back, couldn't get it done, stays it safe. I have to take the position off to Beaton. Beaton's looking very racy since the track has turned dry. The front two, whilst they have been battling, have not really been making any inroads on third and fourth. They are staying with them. If anything, third and fourth are being dragged into this battle for the lead here. So as first and second battle away, third and fourth are staying with them. Taylor Danny has now got past Perry then for P5. Hilly still behind Milanis, and Milanis managing to keep Hilly and Diablo behind. And while they're battling, that's bringing in Magnetics and Craig into this battle as well. I got back with Craig actually yesterday around Australia. Very entertaining. That was in the Elite Division. And there we go, look. The top three separated by less than 0.5 of a second. This is going to be an interesting one down to turn 1 here. Bailey does seem to get really good drive out of that final turn. Ethan's tyres now 7 laps old. Their mediums are going to start hurting him. He's come down to the first corner. What? Oh! Beaton and Ethan have come together. Beaton and Ethan have come together into turn 1. Beaton, I don't think, could get it stopped. He's run into the back of Ethan. He's lost his front right end plate. But it has dropped Ethan from P2 down to P4 behind his teammate. And Bailey, we're having a big smile on his face now, seeing that happen behind him. Seeing that P2's now lost, has now got front damage. And Ethan has dropped time. This may just give Bailey a bit of time to have a breather, but that has brought Haytham into the battle then. These top 4 are split now by 1.2 seconds between the 4 of them. Beaton having a look at Bailey then at the top of the second DRS. Oh, could this be time for Ethan to now pit? He will get the undercut on these guys. I don't know if these guys will go to the end. He's going to definitely have to get off these mediums. He will have the undercut, but might, if they guys pit towards the end of the race, be on a tyre offset. I think he's looking like he is. He is yet even then into the pit from P4. He's going to get rid of them medium tyres. I guess he's going to go for a set of hards to the end. As we have a battle now for P6 going down to the first corner. 3 wide. Panetta on the inside. Just keeps it ahead of Neely Psycho. Keeps it clean. And Panetta on a recovery drive then. up to P5. Psycho's now P6. Perry struggling with that front wing damage. He's now dropped down to P7. His race is just kind of unfolding since it's turned dry then for Perry. Was up there battling for the lead. He's now down to P7 since we've gone dry. And the top three then. Battling away. Macron's gone to set the fastest lap. 1:22 dead. So the track is ramping up then. Peter's now going to have to keep needing Psycho behind him. So let's have a quick look at the battles that we've got going on then. Bailey's got the lead. He's battling Beaton and Haytham. Beaton and Haytham then. Oh, looks like they're going to go back into the final corner. Bailey's got out. That's got them out of his DRS zone. And it's going to be Beaton versus Haytham. Well, no, it isn't, because Beaton's dipped into the pits. You got Needy Psycho battling Pintita. Yeah, it's right on board as we go down to the first corner. Gaining. Not close enough to put a move in. Magnetics is racing. Milan is here for P6 at the moment. Milan said, I'm going to have the middle of the track, and I'm not going to let anyone have it. You're going to have to make the decision if you want the inside or outside, and that's helped Mananis to keep P6 for the time being. As out the pit comes Beaton. I think he has prepared front wing. Yeah, Beaton has prepared his front wing. So Beaton and Ethan have made their second pit stops of the race. Both going onto a set of hards. Ethan then making time. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Oh, Diablo either went off or got tapped there. It's a shame. We've still got the full grid running. Haven't had a retirement just yet. Keep an eye on Ethan then. He's going to be wanting to get rid of these cars ahead of him as quick as he can. That's Magnetics and Craig ahead of him. He's got to make use of this tyre advantage he has got then. And he's not holding back, you know. He's gone and he's took Magnetics before the final corner. He's just kept it within the DRS of Craig. Let's see if we can push Craig down to that first corner. Yeah, Bailey has got a free second penalty that could come back to bite him towards the end of this race. We've got cars now into the pit. Ethan's not wasting time into turn one. Down the inside of Craig. Craig's got the inside out of turn two, but Ethan gets that move done on the fresher rubber, and Ethan's not holding back here. Ethan's made up 2 places on his outlap on them hard tyres straight away. It's Grant now. There's a 1:20.9. The lap times are dropping here. People making their second stops of this race. As Haytham now leads, he got past Bailey on that last lap. DRS assisted. So Haytham has been quite steadily trotting along in 4th for most of the race. Has now took the lead of the race. So steady wins the race, as to say. And there we go, Bailey into the pits. Oh, Bailey gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Couldn't get the car stopped in time. That's going to give him 13 seconds of penalties at the end of this race. That's going to cost him dearly. That will cost him dearly. It's going to drop him quite a bit down the field, especially if you get any sort of safety car. It's going to cost him. Where is Ethan? Ethan's coming down now. And Ethan gets ahead of Bailey on track. Bailey on to the mediums. Tony Danny also getting ahead of Bailey. Tony Danny also has pitted twice and is now silently getting into the battle here towards the front of the field. From nowhere, Tony Danny is put himself in the mix for the win here. If he can just keep with Ethan ahead of him, keep Bailey behind him. Bailey's got 13 seconds penalties. That's definitely going to cost him towards the end of the race. It's going to cost him quite a few positions at the end. From leads then. He's 7 seconds ahead of Benita. Everyone making their second stops now. Some guys I think may not even stop the second time. They may go to the end You have to keep an eye on who's going to take that risk and who isn't. Is Haven going to take it? No. Haven says, I'm staying out. So the closest battles on the field is now going to be for P5. Ethan closes in are Milanist. P7 has Tony Downey and Bailey go racing. There you go. Need Psycho's got a 10-second penalty as well for speeding in the pit lane. So here we go. Taylor Downey versus Bailey down to turn 1. Taylor Downey hold him. Taylor Downey not really putting up much of a fight to Bailey there. Bailey then gets moved on before turn 1. Ethan couldn't find his way past Milanis there. Milanis holding that 4th position. There's Velocity Racing, 2nd and P2 and P4 at the moment. They are on older tyres than the guys that are behind them battling away now. Ethan does not want to be held up for too long, especially if the 3 guys ahead of him have decided they ain't pitting again. They're going to go to the end. Bailey did get ahead of Taylor Downey. The field's quite split up. So your main battles at the moment are going to be for the front 3 if they pit or do not pit again. Ethan going from Milanis up to the top of the hill, and Ethan up to P4. Great move there. Milanis backed out of that towards the end of the top of the hill. Game of chicken that Ethan won, and Bailey right behind them as well. Yes, you've got a few battles on the field. The field's quite spread apart. Not many guys are in the DRS of the guys ahead of them. Bailey Milanis, as we head to someone, Bailey thought about it, backed out. Right on the tail of Milanis, really get it done before the chicane. No, he's thinking better of it there. So the front 3 haven't pitted for a second pit stop. They, I reckon now, as soon as we're on lap 22, they're thinking of going to the end. So Ethan, Bailey and Taylor Downey would have to catch 15 seconds to Haytham if they want to take the lead of this race, unless Haytham pits towards the end. But I've got a feeling he's not going to now. He's going to try and hang this out. So even got past Milanis, trying to get him out the DRS then. Milanis will do all he can to stave in that DRS of Ethan ahead of him. Just getting towed along for the ride. Helping defend against Bailey and Taylor Downey behind him. As we head down to turn 1, Ethan should keep him behind with a little bit of a DRS train there. As Dalby picks up a 3-second penalty. We'll switch to the penalties then when we get to the last lap to see how it's going to affect everyone, as we are now heading into the last 5 laps of this race. Hilly and Hamady there having a little battle with each other. Hamady not firing the way past Hilly for the time being. So the closest battles on the field then are for P5 between Milanis, Bailey, Taylor Downey and Ethan. P10 for Hilly and Hamady. I always find Hilly's always battling around P10 lately. But yeah, Hilly, Hamady and Matt battling around for P10. Everyone's quite spread apart, but quite a few drivers got penalties. That's going to come back, might come back to play a big part in where everyone finishes. So they are, Milanis and Ethan are making inroads on the guys ahead, but it's not at a quick enough pace here to do anything. I think Haytham and Panetta are going to be safe. I think Haytham and Panetta, if they stay out, I think they've got P1 and P2 wrapped up, unless they have some sort of incident or a puncture towards the end of the race. I think P1, P2 is secure. Perry, on the other hand, is going to have to defend. Oh, Bailey, late on the brakes there. Makes it stick and gets past Milanis then. So he's up to P5, I think. So P1, P2, I think are safe. I don't think there's enough laps here for the guys behind them to really have put a challenge in against them. Haytham then, who has been hovering around P4 for most of the race, he's about to steal a win. Panetta, who's lost a front wing in this race, he's about to steal P2. Perry, I think, is going to struggle to hold on to P3. He's got Ethan and Bailey and Milana's Taylor Danny catching him at a rate of knots here, so I don't think he's going to hold on to that P3. He's also got that 3-second penalty, Bailey, plus 15-second penalty at the moment, so that would drop him 1 too. That could drop Bailey down to 11th place. Bailey could, the championship leader, could actually lose 5-6 places here because of his penalty, so he needs to knuckle down just to make sure he can get ahead of Neely Psycho and Hilly. And Ethan up now within the DRS of Perry. Gaining. Not gaining quick enough though as we come into turn 1, but he's going to be all over the back of Perry. Milanis just dropping out of that second of Bailey and Ethan now. Taylor Danny all over the back end of him. Back down for the battle of 11th Hilly. He is on fresh tyres and Hamidi. He's managed to jump away from this battle. Hamidi and Matt, 16 and 17 lap old tyres, battling away for P11. Oh, we got a yellow flag. It's Perry. Perry was the reason for that yellow flag. Perry has dropped. Oh, something major happened there because Perry and Ethan were battling for P3. Have now dropped to P6 and P7 on the track. Ethan looks okay. Perry looks okay. They've had an instant then into the second chicane on this track. The end of sector 1. Something must have happened between Ethan and Perry. We've got a yellow flag out. It's cold down with tyres. He's in the pit, so it shouldn't cause a safety car. So Ethan and Perry had some sort of coming together then, and that's dropped them 3 places each. It's put Taylor Danny to 5th, Milanis to 4th. Milanis, if he can keep Taylor Danny behind him, he's going to steal a podium here. With Bailey's penalties, Milanis here, he's on for a podium. That's for, even if Milanis or Taylor Danny get that position, Ethan though still there, he's now going to try and fight back here. He's got 2 laps to try and get past them both. Look, if she told me after the first round of pit stops that Haytham would be winning, Panetta would be in second, I wouldn't have believed you. And we could have the most unlikely podium here from what we've seen early on in the race. Haytham, Panetta going for the long one-stop strategy. They've made it pay. Haytham here should get the win. Panetta should get P2. P3 is way behind, so he's catching them. So P1, P2 is secure. Battle is for P3. Bailey has got a 15-second penalty. So Milanis at the moment would be P3. He's got Taylor Danny and Ethan though right behind him, coming back on the charge. Ethan's on a recovery drive after having some sort of coming together, I feel, with Perry on that last lap. And there you go, look, Ethan right the inside of Taylor Danny around that final corner. And we go charging up to the first corner. Milanis now got to do everything he possibly can to keep Ethan behind him if he wants to steal that final podium position. This is the closest battle on the track. How many of Matt are still battling away? I'm going to stick with this then. The battle for P3 is the battle to watch. Grant's starting P14. He's in DRS as well as we head into that final lap. Haytham then, he's going to have the biggest smile ever on his face. The manager of Velocity Racing going to have a smile on his face. He could have a double podium on his hands here. With Panetta and Milanis battling away, Milanis has just got to keep Ethan behind him for 4 corners here. And he will have stole P3. Bailey's got a 15-second penalty. That's going to cost him dearly. That could drop him down to the likes of P10. We're going to have to watch that then. As we head down to the final corner. Milanis then is going to have to go defensive to Ethan. He's got to keep it Ethan behind him around his final turn. Haytham was 1. Panetta into P2. Brady's holding it back. But Brady's penalties cost him. And Milanis then, Velocity Racing having a great day out today. P2 and P3. And not just Velocity Racing. Mustachio Racing and Velocity Racing have had the best race ever for them. Oh, we've got 10-second penalties for people that have only used one set of tyres there. I'm pretty sure you have to use both sets unless you only did a one-stopper. Haytham then, P1. Panetta P2. Milan is finishing in P3. Ethan P4. So Velocity Racing and Mustachio Racing having a fantastic day. Ethan, though, I think there will be something happening in the stewards room between him and Perry. Ethan, I think, had P3 wrapped up until an instant 3 laps from the end. Taylor Dunny comes home in P5. Beaton in P6. Perry P7. Bailey then, with his 15-second penalty, will come home in P8. Psycho in P9. Hamady P10. Matt P11. Magnetics P12. Hilly P12. Grant 14th. Diablo 15th. Jimber John 16th, Matt Graham 17th, Craig 18th, and Oliver P 19th. But Velocity Racing and Mustachio Racing, they're going to be their winners from this week. The losers are going to be Sentinel. Maybe not having a good race with them 15 seconds of penalties that dropped him down the grid. I don't think it's going to have much effect on the leader of the constructors. This week he will tighten the gap up there. So Haytham P1, Panetta P2, Milanis P3, Ethan P4, Taylor Danny P5, Beaton P6, Perry P7, Bailey 8th, Psycho 9th, Hamady 10th, Matt 11th, Magnetics 12th, Hilly 13th, Grant 14th, Dablo 15th, Jimber John 16th, Matt Graham 17th, Craig 18th, Oliver 19th, Colden 20th. Haytham Panetta made the one-stop strategy work very well for him, bringing it home in P1 and P2. Milan is holding on for P3 against Ethan around that final corner. He'll be happy with a podium. So the top 3 all did a one-stop strategy. They've made it pay, and they took the 3 podium positions. Ethan, fantastic drive today, but couldn't get a bit unlucky P4. My drive of the day, it's got to be Haytham. Made that one-stop strategy last. Was hovering around P4 for most of the race, staying out of everyone's way, keeping himself to himself, and took the win at the end.